Hello there, everyone. I'm Mason Beam with the Wise News Network, and as you can see behind me today, we're at the Lowell Masonic Lodge, which is number 590. Today, 4 of the Masonic Lodges are coming together to form the Unity Lodge, which is number 462. That will be built later on this year, hopefully. And without further ado, let's go inside and see all the new officers be inducted.
You agree to promote the general good of society, to cultivate the social virtues, and to propagate the knowledges of our art. You promise to pay homage to the Grand Master and to his officers when duly installed, and strictly to conform to every edict of the Grand Lodge or General Assembly of Masonry that is not subversive of the principles of the groundwork of Masonry. You admit that it is not in the power of any man or body of man to make innovations in the body of Masonry. You promise a regular attendance at the committees and communications of the Grand Lodge on receiving proper notice and to pay attention to all the duties of Masonry on convenient occasions. You admit that no new lodge shall be formed without permission of the Grand Lodge, and that no countenance be given to an irregular lodge or to any person clandestinely initiated therein, being contrary to the ancient charges of the order. You admit that no person can be regularly made a Mason or be admitted as a member of any regular lodge without previous notice and due inquiry into his character. You agree that no visitor shall be received into your lodge without due examination and without producing proper vouchers of having been initiated into a regular lodge. These are the regulations of ancient and accepted Masons. My brother, do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations as Masons have done in all ages before you?
I do.
Brother William Weber, in consequence of your cheerful conformity to the charges and regulations of the fraternity, you are now to be installed of the master of this new lodge in full confidence of your care, skill, and capacity to govern the same. Brother Marshall, invest the master with the jewel of his office. Right. Okay. Whichever.
It is with great honor that I dedicate this Bible to Unity Lodge 462 on behalf of myself, my family, and the former members of Gastonia Lodge 369 with great pride.
Thank you, my brother. My brother, you will now receive the furnishings and various implements of your lodge. They are emblematical of our conduct in life, and upon this occasion are greatly enumerated. The holy writings, the great light of Masonry, will guide you the whole truth. It will point out to you the whole duty of man and direct your steps to the temple of happiness. However men may differ in creed, yet all men agree that within the pages of the Holy Bible are found those principles which lay the foundation upon which to build a righteous life. Freemasonry would take all men by the hand and leading them to its altar would point to the open Bible and urge each to faithfully direct his steps through life by the life he should find therein. If from our altar the atheist or irreligious man should ever wrest this book and thus remove or even obscure the great light of Freemasonry, that light which for centuries has been the ruling guide of all Masons, we can no longer claim the proud title and rank of Master Mason. As long as this sacred light shines upon our altar, as long as it brightens and illumines the pathway of the craftsman by the golden rays of truth, so long will Freemasonry live and shed its beneficent influence among men. Guard then, my brother, this sacred book as you would guard your life. Defend it as you would defend the flag of your country. Live according to its sublime precepts. Govern yourself that you may be able to govern others. Learn first that you may be able to teach. For justice, moderation, and decorum should mark the acts of an upright man. The square teaches us to regulate our actions by rule and line and to harmonize our conduct by the principles of morality and virtue. The compass teaches us to limit our desires in every station, but rising to eminence by merit, we may live respected, die regretted. The rule directs that we should punctually observe our duty, press forward in the path of virtue, and neither inclining to the left nor the right in all our actions have eternity in view. The line teaches the criterion of moral rectitude, to avoid dissimulation in conversation and action, and to direct our steps to the path which leads to a glorious eternity. Brother Marshall, conduct the master-elect by the south side of the altar. Marshall, it is fitting that you should be covered when presiding over your lodge. I now place in your hands the gouge, an additional insignia of your rank and authority. Wield it, my brother, with prudence and discretion, firmly, but never arbitrarily, in the end that good order and harmony may be preserved. Worshipful Master, it is my distinct honor, on behalf of myself, the Grand Lodge officers, and the most worshipful Grand Lodge of ancient, free, and accepted nations of North Carolina, to present you the charter of the Unity Lodge number 462, and charge you to preserve it with unfailing care and present it to your successor in office. Right Worshipful Brother Grand Secretary, record in the minutes of this communication that the charter of Unity Lodge number 462 has been delivered to Worshipful Brother William Weber, Master. Worshipful Master, the Book of Constitution and bylaws of your lodge you are to read at all times. Cause them to be read in your lodge, that none may pretend ignorant of any of their excellent precepts. Worshipful Master, being selected master of this lodge, you cannot be insensible of the obligations which devolve on you as their head, nor of your responsibility for the faithful discharge of the important duties annexed to your election. The honor, reputation, and usefulness of your lodge will materially depend on the skill and assiduity with which you manage its concerns, while the happiness of its members will be generally promoted in proportion to the zeal and ability in which you propagate the genuine principles of our institution. For a pattern of imitation, consider the great luminary of nature, which rising in the east regularly diffuses light and luster to all within its circle. In like manner, it is your province to spread and communicate light and instructions to the brethren of your lodge. Forcibly impress upon them the dignity and high importance of masonry. Seriously admonish them to never disgrace it. Charge them to practice out of this lodge those duties which are taught in it. And by amiable, discreet, and virtuous conduct, they will convince mankind of the goodness of the institution, so that when anyone is said to be a member of it, the world may know that he is one to whom the burdened heart may pour out its sorrow, to whom distress may prefer its suit, whose hand is guided by justice, and whose heart is expanded by benevolence. In short, by diligent observation of the bylaws of your lodge, the Constitution of Masonry, and above all, the Holy Scriptures, which are given as a rule and guide to your faith, you will be enabled to equip yourself with honor and reputation, and lay up a crown of rejoicing which shall continue when time shall be no more. Congratulations, worshipful. Brother Marshall, present the senior warden-elect at the altar for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you Brother Tim Warren, who has been elected senior warden of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the senior warden with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been elected senior warden of this lodge and invested with the ensign of your office. The level demonstrates that we are descended from the same stock, partake of the same nature, and share the same hope. Though distinction among men are necessary to preserve subordination, yet no eminence of station should make us forget that we are brethren. He who is placed on the lowest spoke of fortune's wheel may be entitled to our regard, because the time will come, and the wisest man knows not when all distinctions but that of goodness shall cease, and death, the grand leveler of all human greatness, shall reduce us to the same state. Your regular attendance on our state of communications is necessary. In the absence of the master, you are to govern his lodge. In his presence, you are to assist him in the government of it. I firmly rely on your knowledge of masonry and your attachment to the lodge for the faithful discharge of the duties of this important trust. Look well to the west. Brother Marshall, conduct the senior warden to his station. Brother Marshall, present the junior warden-elect at the altar for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you Brother Charles Burridge, who has been elected junior warden of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the junior warden with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been elected junior warden of this lodge and invested with the badge of your office. The plumb admonishes us to walk uprightly in our several stations, to hold the scales of justice in equal poise, to observe the just medium between intemperance and pleasure, and to make our passions and prejudice coincide with the line of our duty. To you is committed the superintendence of the craft during the hours of refreshment. It is therefore indispensably necessary that you should not only be temperate and discreet in the indulgence of your inclinations, but carefully observe that none of the craft be suffered to convert the purposes of the refreshment into intemperance or excess. Your regular and punctual attendance is particularly requested. I have no doubt that you will faithfully execute the duty which you owe to your present election. Look well to the south. Brother Marshall, conduct the junior warden to his station. Brother Marshall, present the treasurer-elect at y'all for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you Brother Joe Lowell, who has been elected treasurer of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the treasurer with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been elected treasurer of this lodge. It is your duty to receive all monies from the hands of the secretary, make due entries of the same, pay them out by order of the worshipful master and consent of the lodge. So important is the handling of the lodge funds that the Constitution and regulations of the Grand Lodge and the laws of this lodge especially charge that you keep the funds received by you belonging to the lodge separate and distinct from all other funds under your control, and to hold all funds of the lodge so that they shall be subject to the order of the lodge at all times. I trust your regard for the fraternity will prompt you to the faithful discharge of the duties of your office. Brother Marshall, conduct the treasurer to his place.
I didn't even get to write a check.
Brother Marshall, present the secretary elected, the Alder French Collation.
Most worship, I present to you Brother Terry Thomas, who has been elected secretary of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the secretary with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been elected secretary of this lodge for the ensuing year. It is your duty to observe the proceedings of the lodge, to make a fair record of all things proper to be written, receive all monies due to lodge, pay them over to the treasurer, and take its receipt for the same. You are charged to observe carefully and obey the Constitution, regulations, and laws of the Grand Lodge and of this lodge pertaining to the office of secretary, so that you may be prepared at all times to perform promptly and efficiently the many duties pertaining to your important office. Your good inclinations to masonry and this lodge, I hope, will induce you to discharge your office with fidelity, and by doing so, you will merit the esteem and the applause of your brother. Brother Marshall, conduct the secretary to his place. Brother Marshall, present the senior deacon at the altar French Collation.
Most worship, I present to you Brother Blake McClellan, who has been appointed senior deacon of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the senior deacon with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been appointed senior deacon of this lodge. You are to act as the messenger of the master in the active duties of the lodge, to give fraternal attention to visiting brethren, to receive and conduct candidates into the different degrees of masonry. In the immediate practice of our rites and ceremonies, to you, with such assistance as you may deem necessary, may be entrusted the examination of visitors. You are to perform such duties as the customs of the craft may require or the master may order. The square and compasses as badges of your office I entrust to your care, not doubting your zeal and attention. Brother Marshall, conduct the senior deacon to his place. Brother Marshall, present the junior deacon at the altar French Collation.
Most worship, I present to you Brother Tracy Church, who has been appointed junior deacon of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the junior deacon with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been appointed junior deacon of this lodge. It is your duty to act as messenger of the senior warden in the active duties of this lodge, to have special care to see the lodge is properly tiled. If you cannot personally vouch for each person in the lodge room as a master mason at the time the lodge is being purged, you shall forthwith in the proper manner satisfy yourself to that effect. The failure to perform this important duty shall be a serious offense. It is also your duty to announce the name of each visiting brother along with his lodge and lodge location, and to be certain that he is duly vouched for and that he is properly clothed before he is admitted to the lodge. You are to perform such other duties as customs of the craft may require or the master may order. The square compasses as badges of your office I now entrust to your care. I do not doubt your vigilance or attention. Brother Marshall, conduct the junior deacon to his place. Brother Marshall, present the stewards at the altar for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you brothers Lewis Hunt and Ben Mitchell, who have been appointed stewards of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the stewards with the jewels of their office. My brothers, you have been appointed stewards of this your lodge. It is your duty to provide for the comfort of the brethren, to assist the deacons and other officers in the performance of their duties, to perform such other duties as may be required by the usage and customs of the craft, or as may be required by the ritual, by the master, or by the junior warden. Your regular and early attendance will afford the best proof of your zeal and attachment to the lodge. Brother Marshall, conduct the stewards to their place. Brother Marshall, present the chaplain at the altar for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you brother Brad Milton, who has been appointed chaplain of this lodge for the ensuing year.
Brother Marshall, invest the chaplain with the jewel of his office. My brother, you have been appointed chaplain of this lodge. It is your duty to perform those solemn services which we should constantly render to our infinite Creator, and which may, by refining our souls, strengthening our virtues, and purifying our minds, prepare us for admission into the society of those above, whose happiness will be as endless as it is perfect. That holy book which rests upon our altar is the great light in masonry, and forever sheds its benign rays upon every lawful assembly of ancient free and accepted nations. From it we may learn our duty to God, our neighbor, and ourselves. Teach us from its life-giving precepts, and you faithfully have fulfilled your sacred and important trust. Your good inclination to masonry and your lodge will induce you to discharge the duties of your office with fidelity, and by doing so you will merit the esteem and approval of your brethren. Brother Marshall, conduct the chaplain to his place. Brother Marshall, present the Tyler at the altar for installation.
Most worshipful, I present to you brother Jimmy Thompson, who has been appointed Tyler of this lodge in the ensuing year.
Will the marshal invest the Tyler with the jewel of his office? My brother, you have been appointed Tyler of this lodge. It is your duty to guard the entrance of the lodge, to report all brothers for admission to the junior deacon, announce the name, number, and location of his lodge, to see that each brother who enters is duly qualified and properly clothed, to keep a register of visiting brothers, to perform such other duties as may be required by the laws and customs of the craft or by the order of the master. The marshal will now invest you with the implement of your office. As the sword is placed in the hands of the Tyler to enable him effectually to guard against the approach of cowards and eavesdroppers, and suffer none to pass or repass, but such as are duly qualified, so should it morally serve as a constant admonition to us to set a guard at the entrance of our thoughts, to place a watch at the door of our lips, to post a sentinel at the avenue of our actions, thereby excluding every unqualified and unworthy thought, word, and deed, and preserving conscience void of any offense towards God and towards man. Your early and punctual attendance will afford the best proof of your zeal for the institution. Will the marshal conduct the Tyler to his place? My brothers, such is the nature of our Constitution that as some must of necessity rule and teach, so others must of course learn to submit and obey. Humility in both is an essential duty. The officers who have been appointed and elected to govern your lodge are sufficiently conversant with the rules of propriety and the laws of the institution. They are to avoid exceeding the powers with which they have been entrusted, and you are of too generous disposition to envy their preferment. I therefore trust that you will have but one aim, to please each other, to unite in the grand design of being happy, and to communicate happiness. Finally, my brethren, as this association has been formed and perfected in harmony, for which we greatly rejoice, so may it long continue. May kindness and brotherly affection distinguish your conduct as men and as masons. Within your peaceful walls, may your children's children celebrate with joy and gratitude the transactions of this splendid occasion. May the tenets of our profession be transmitted through your lodge, pure and unimpaired, from generation to generation. Brother Marshal, I now declare the several officers of this lodge duly installed. You will proclaim this to the south, to the west, and to the east.
Brothers and guests, by order of the most worshipful Grand Master, I declare these several officers duly installed for the ensuing year. I'll make this proclamation to the south, to the west, to the east.
Worshipful Master, behold your brethren. Brethren, behold your worshipful Master.
No word from him.
First, I would like to thank the Grand Lodge officers for honoring Unity Lodge with your presence today. Your guidance and support mean more to us than words can fully express. Second, I would like to thank our families and our friends for being here today. Your attendance and your encouragement strengthen this lodge and remind us that our work is part of something larger than ourselves. To my brothers, I extend my sincere gratitude for the confidence you have placed in me. It is both an honor and a privilege to serve as Unity Lodge as its first master. But standing here today, I am reminded that the strength and work of any lodge is never found in the hands or the heart of one man, but in the shared labor and goodwill of many. Today's installation at the beginning of a new year is also a reminder that our lodge stands at a moment of renewal, not only in officers, but in shared commitment. As we begin this new chapter, we carry forward the work shaped by the faithful labors of those who came before us. Gastonia Lodge, number 369. South Fork Lodge, number 462. Lowell Lodge, number 590. And Belmont Lodge, number 627. What they built is now entrusted to our care, and it will be up to us to advance it with equal and greater devotion. To my officers, Tim Waters, Charles Burbage, Blake McLean, Tracy Church, Terry Connor, Joe Waller, Jimmy Thompson, Lewis Hunt, and Benjamin Mitchum, and to my trustees, Matt Jones, Charlie Grissom, and Scott Young, and to my brothers, let us always remember that the task ahead of us is larger than any single term. It's the long arc of stewardship, the steady, deliberate efforts that shape who we are as Unity Lodge, who we will become, and what we will hand over to those who follow in our footsteps. My commitment to you, my brothers, is to lead with clarity, to listen with humility, and to ensure that every brother has a place to contribute his life to our design. I look forward to the year that we will craft together with unity, with intention, and with the steady understanding that our work exceeds far beyond the year ahead of us. Again, brothers, thank you for the trust you have bestowed upon me. I will endeavor to be worthy of it.
Get prepared for the platinum presentation. Brother Grand Marshal, you will ascertain if the plaque is in its proper position and make the proclamation.
By authority of the most worshipful Grand Master, and in obedience of his order, I do now command and require all here assembled to preserve silence and to observe the court and order during these ceremonies. This proclamation I make to the south, to the west, and to the east.
Brethren, before entering on any great or important undertaking, we should first invoke the blessings of deity. Brother Grand Chaplain, would you lead our devotion?
Holy Lord, gracious God, supreme architect of the universe, you have called a new lodge to be formed, Unity Lodge. You have called people of talent and abilities to carry out your will and your purpose. Give them all good sense and good grace that we may do your will in your way and in the way that you would have us do. Bless this new lodge and its service to Essex County. Pray these things in your holy name. Amen.
So let it be. Amen.
Most worshipful Grand Master, this temple has been previously dedicated to God. We, the members of this lodge, ask you, as the Grand Master of Masons in North Carolina, to dedicate this commemorative plaque to identifying this lodge with the highest interest of Masonry in this community.
Right Worshipful Deputy Grand Master, what is the proper jewel of your office?
The swear.
What is its moral and Masonic uses?
Swear of virtue. To swear our actions by the swear of virtue and to prove our work.
Apply your implement of your office to that portion of the plaque that needs to be proved and make your report.
Most worshipful Grand Master. The plaque is square. Craftsmen have performed their duties.
Right Worshipful Senior Grand Warden, what is the proper jewel of your office?
The level.
What is its moral and Masonic uses?
Morally, it reminds us of equality, and its uses are laid horizontal.
Apply the implement of your office to the plaque and make a report when this is done.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I find the plaque to be level. The craftsmen have performed their duty.
Right Worshipful Junior Grand Warden, what is the proper jewel of your office?
The plum.
What is its moral and Masonic uses?
Morally, it teaches rectitude of conduct, but we use it to try perpendiculars.
Apply the implement of your office to the several edges of the plaque and make a report when this is done.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I find the plaque to be plum. The craftsmen have performed their duties.
This plaque has been tested by the proper implements of masonry. I find that the craftsmen have skillfully and faithfully performed their duties. I do therefore declare that the plaque is well formed, true, and trusted, and correctly placed, according to the rules of our ancient craft, in the name of the great Jehovah. I do solemnly dedicate this commemorative plaque to Freemasonry, to virtue, and to universal benevolence. My brothers and others here assembled, be it known to you that we are lawful Masons, true and faithful to the laws of our country. We are engaged by solemn obligations to provide magnificent buildings, to be serviceable to the brethren, and to revere God, the great architect of the universe. We have among us, concealed from the eyes of all men, secrets which cannot be divulged, but they are lawful, honorable, and are not repugnant to the laws of God or man. They were entrusted in peace and honor to the Masons of ancient times and have been faithfully transmitted to us, and it is our duty to convey them unimpaired to the latest posterity. Unless our craft were good and our calling honorable, we should not have lasted for so many centuries, nor should we have been honored with the patronage of so many illustrious men in all ages, who have ever shown themselves ready to promote our interests and defend us from all adversaries. We are here assembled today to dedicate this commemorative plaque in this temple, which we pray that God may deserve to prosper by continuing to be a place of concourse for good men and by promoting harmony and brotherly love throughout the world till time shall be no more. Worshipful Brother Grand Marshal, I now declare that the commemorative plaque of this temple has been found square, level, plumb, and true, and trusty, and dedicated according to our ancient custom. You will make this proclamation.
By order of the most worshipful Grand Master of Masons of North Carolina, I proclaim this commemorative plaque of this structure to have been found square, level, plumb, true, and trusty, and dedicated in accordance to our ancient custom.
Thank you, my brother. Please be seated. If the outgoing Grand Master of Gastonia Lodge, as well as the members of that lodge, would stand west of the altar, please. The outgoing Master of Gastonia and the members of that lodge. Worshipful Master, it is indeed my distinct pleasure to present you with your past master's apron, signifying your service to your lodge the previous year. Congratulations.
This was not something that everybody thought was going to happen last year when we started off the year. 100 years of history is contained within the Gastonia Lodge, and of course, as we look around, when you combine the history of the four lodges together, we're going to go over 250 years. I found great energy with the unity experience here last month. When we did a third degree, I'm excited about getting in there and getting our hands back dirty and stimulating the Masonic flame again here in our county. I thank all of you for helping us out, and I look forward to forging new friendships and relationships.
If the outgoing Master of Southport Lodge and the membership as well, west of the altar. First Michael, on behalf of myself and the Grand Lodge, the members of your lodge, thank you for your service this previous year. Congratulations on all you have done and all you will continue to do. Congratulations.
It's my heart to go to the court on behalf of Southport Block 462.
Thank you. Thank you. Any words?
I just want to say, it was an honor serving as Master of Southport 462. I had a fun time doing it, and I enjoyed it. It's an honor to be a part of this merger and part of the process. And like what the brother Colin said, the best is yet to come.
and I look forward to watching your dad play. Thank you.
With the members of Lowell Lodge, outgoing master, and members of Lowell join west of the altar. Worshipful, again, on behalf of myself, the Grand Lodge, and on behalf of the members of Lowell Lodge, it's indeed a pleasure to present you your past master Mason for service to this lodge last year.
It's a great pleasure to present you back here in the court. We're just over the moon that you came to visit us.
It is indeed my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here. Thank you for that. The floor is yours.
Just like first two guys said, it's been a fun year. I've said this several times over the year. I've been waiting on the other booth to fall. It went so smoothly. But we've got a good group of guys here. We're the largest lodge in the state of North Carolina. So it's an honor and privilege to be a part of it. Thank you much.
And finally, Belmont. Past master member.
The best for last. Pay attention.
No word for humility.
Pay attention. Never have been. Never will be.
My brother, on behalf of myself, the Grand Lodge of North Carolina, your lodge and your officers and members, thank you for your service last year. Thank you for your dedication and your guidance and being an integral part of this. I know a lot of other people have been involved a great deal, but there comes a time when we have to think with our heads and not with our hearts. I know that it can be tough, and this is, you brethren here have faced what so many more across our state and across our nation are going to have to face. Because we have to realize that times have changed. And we have to plan for not next year and not 5 years, but 25 and 50 and 100 years from now, so that, as I just said, our children's children may enjoy Freemasonry. So thank you for all you've done. Yes, sir.
And on behalf of Belmont Lodge 627, there's a commemorative coin. You never knew when you showed up for breakfast that Saturday morning what was going to happen.
I had a good feeling. The floor is yours.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Limited contract.
Oh, no, seriously. They gave it to me, right, John? Thank you very much. On behalf of everybody that's been a member of Belmont, my Masonic journey actually started here, and there's a whole lot younger picture of me back there. I was joking, 3 of the 4 lodges that emerged, I was master of. So it's either the kiss of death or a good sign, one of the two, I don't know. But on behalf of everybody in Belmont, thank you. It couldn't have been done without everybody up here and everybody around the room. And we've got a lot to show, and we've got a lot to demonstrate. Thank you, Mr. Richmond.
Thank you.
Matt.
Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of Hermon and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessings, even life forevermore. Good afternoon again. Most worshipful, right worshipful, worshipful brethren, brethren all, ladies, gentlemen, and friends. We are here at the beginning of a new year, and we are here to celebrate the establishment of this new lodge. Again, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this occasion today. It is my honor to be in your presence, and I am truly humbled to serve as your 173rd Grand Master of Masons of North Carolina. To the Brothers of Unity Lodge number 462, as you look forward to the future of Freemasonry in this community, you must realize that you can never forget your past. Indeed, you must honor and you must cherish the events and the individuals who have allowed you to be here this day. You must preserve the history of the four lodges which come together today and always acknowledge their contributions to our craft. You must remember from whence you came, and you are never to forget what you came here to do. Today, you begin not a new chapter, but a new book. Just as the Holy Writings, the great light of Freemasonry, is comprised of many books, so is the past, and so will the future of this lodge be similarly comprised. One cannot have a full understanding of the books of the New Testament without knowledge of the various books of the Old Testament. Neither will the book of Unity be easily understood without a knowledge of the books of Gastonia, the book of Southport, the book of Lowell, and the book of Belmont. The future words that will be written in this new book, this book of Unity, will be founded and grounded in those that have already been written in the previous four. So today as you begin this new book, I challenge each of you to do it with a renewed commitment, a commitment to always honor your past, to never forget those whose labors, whose words, and whose actions are recorded in these books for your reference. I hope that you will dedicate yourselves to the same ideals and to the same principles that guided these brethren who came before you. By doing so, by living and practicing Freemasonry for your family, for your friends, and for this community to see, our fraternity, our gentle craft, will prosper. And the pages of this new book, this book of Unity, will be filled with the effects of Freemasonry for generations to come. May the Supreme Architect of the universe pour out his blessings on this new lodge. May he continue to bless our gentle craft. May he bless these United States of America, our beloved Old North State. And as we begin this new year, may he richly bless each one of you and grant you both a happy and prosperous new year. Thank you for the honor to be here.
Thank you, my brother.
Well, everyone, that's all for today. That has been the induction ceremony for the Unity Lodge number 462. If you want to reach out to us to have us at your event, find us on wisenewsnetwork.com under the events tab or email us at newsdesk@wisenewsnetwork.com. Until next time, everyone, this has been Mason Beam.